In today's video, we dive into the unfolding political rivalry between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, as Harris steps into the spotlight to run for president in 2024. This contest, which pits the current vice president against the former president, promises to be one of the most dramatic elections in recent U.S. history. Harris, taking over after President Biden's decision to withdraw, is aiming to make history yet again. But how did this rivalry between Harris and Trump begin, and what does it say about the future of American politics? Kamala Harris was born in 1964 in Oakland, California, to immigrant parents. Her mother, Shymala Gapalin, was an Indian cancer researcher, and her father, Donald Harris, an economist from Jamaica. Raised in an environment focused on civil rights and justice, Harris' early experiences shaped her sense of duty and fairness. She attended Howard University, a historically black college, before going to law school at the University of California, Hastings. Harris' legal career began as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California, where she developed a reputation for toughness. She rose through the ranks to become district attorney of San Francisco in 2004, then the Attorney General of California in 2010, becoming the first African-American woman to hold the office. Her career path took her to the U.S. Senate in 2016, representing California. It was during this time that Harris first clashed with Donald Trump, who had won the presidency that same year. Harris was outspoken against many of Trump's policies, particularly on issues like immigration, healthcare, and criminal justice reform. Her sharp and focused questioning of Trump's Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh during his confirmation hearings gained her national attention. This moment marked the beginning of a tense and adversarial relationship between Harris and Trump. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's rise to power took a very different route. Born in 1946 in Queens, New York, Trump grew up in a wealthy real estate family. After graduating from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, Trump took over his father's business and expanded it, building a brand synonymous with luxury, wealth, and success. By the 1980s, Trump had become a media personality, known for his real estate ventures, casinos, and eventually his hit television show *The Apprentice. His 2015 decision to run for president shocked many, but his populist message resonated with a large section of the American public. Promising to make America great again, Trump won the 2016 election, becoming one of the most polarizing figures in U.S. political history. During his presidency, Trump enacted policies that starkly contrasted with the ideals held by Kamala Harris and other progressives. His administration's handling of immigration, his tax cuts favoring the wealthy, and his stance on climate change became points of intense debate. Harris' rise in national politics coincided with Trump's presidency, and she was one of his fiercest critics in the Senate, advocating for social justice, equality, and progressive reforms. The stage was set for their rivalry, but it wasn't until 2020 that it truly came to a head. In 2020, Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris as his running mate, a historic decision that made her the first woman of color on a major party ticket. Together, Biden and Harris launched a campaign against Trump and his administration, focusing on healing the nation, addressing the COVID-19 pandemic, and racial justice. Harris' performance in the vice presidential debate against Mike Pence was a turning point. Her iconic line, "I'm speaking," during the debate became a symbol of her resolve in the face of constant interruptions, not just from Pence, but from the political establishment itself. The 2020 election was a bitterly contested one, with Trump refusing to concede after losing to Biden and Harris. Trump's baseless claims of voter fraud fueled months of unrest, culminating in the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Harris, having won the vice presidency, played a key role in navigating the turbulent aftermath of Trump's refusal to acknowledge defeat. During the Biden administration, Harris took on several high-profile responsibilities, including addressing the root causes of migration and advocating for reproductive rights in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Her role in the administration kept her in the public eye, and though she faced criticism, particularly from Republicans, her base continued to support her. In mid-2024, President Joe Biden made a surprising announcement: he would not seek re-election. Endorsing Harris as his successor, Biden paved the way for her to become the Democratic Party's nominee for president. Harris' campaign for 2024 has focused on many of the same issues she championed during her time as vice president, including voting rights, criminal justice reform, and climate change. However, she faces significant challenges from both within her party and from Trump's continued influence over the Republican base. Donald Trump, who announced his candidacy for a return to the presidency, has wasted no time in attacking Harris. Trump has labeled Harris as a radical leftist, unfit to lead the nation, and he has continued to question her capabilities, echoing the rhetoric he used against her during the 2020 campaign. On the other hand, Harris has called out Trump's dangerous rhetoric and his role in undermining democratic norms. Their rivalry reflects two opposing visions for the future of the United States: Trump's nationalist, conservative approach versus Harris' progressive, inclusive agenda. What makes this election particularly interesting is how the public views both candidates. Trump retains a loyal and fervent base of supporters, many of whom continue to believe in his vision for America and see him as the true leader of the Republican Party. Harris, meanwhile, is looking to energize not only the Democratic base but also a broader coalition of voters, particularly young people, women, and minorities. She is running as a symbol of change and progress, while Trump is positioning himself as a return to American greatness. Harris' presidential campaign is also notable for its focus on unity. She has often spoken about the need to heal the divisions within the country, a message she has carried from her time as vice president. Harris has been the face of the Biden administration's work on reproductive rights, voting rights, and immigration reform, and she is now seeking to carry that legacy forward into her own presidency. On the other hand, Trump continues to rally his base by claiming that the 2020 election was stolen and promising to restore America to its former glory. So, what does this rivalry between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump mean for the future of American politics? As the election draws closer, we're likely to see more intense clashes between these two figures. Harris will need to unify the Democratic Party and appeal to undecided voters, while Trump is banking on his loyal supporters to bring him back to power. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the outcome of this election could shape the future of the US for years to come. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Kamala Harris has what it takes to defeat Donald Trump in 2024, or will Trump's base be too strong to overcome? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more celebrity and political timelines. Stay tuned for more on Timelines Unlocked.